We're here with Brunswick new head coach Kole and Kole. Coming into this season, obviously you were previously the head coach at Kole Academy, and the last 2 years you guys went 9-3, including first round playoff wins. And then coming into this year, obviously you were hired as the new head coach for Brunswick Bulldogs, a team that went 3-8 the last 2 years. Just kind of talk about how the change has been and what's been the message to these players this offseason.
But I think the culture here has always been here. You know, you look back at the 90s and 2000s and the years with Coach Nowak, you know, his press box up there, how successful they were, and even had some success with Coach Penzoni as well. And, you know, you look at Division I, Region 1, the toughest region in the state of Ohio, and some could even argue, you know, the entire nation. So got a group of hungry kids that they want to win, and they bought into the challenge. And really, for me, I'm just blessed with being around them every day and just trying to, you know, guide them to success. And they've been very coachable, and it's been easy for me so far.
Yeah, I'll start off with your players. I mean, returning is your quarterback, Sean Barnett, or running back, Eli Nichols, and then your two receivers, Hayden Swarm and Cooper Neal, and then defensively, Colin Kilvey, and then Ryder Kern and Alex Hubo. Just kind of talk about how those guys will be a big impact for you guys this year, and even talk about some of the other players will be a big impact.
Yeah, just leadership. That goes a long way, and I think that these kids, they haven't really been challenged enough. And, you know, they're young men. This is their experience at the end of the day. I'm going to coach football, but they only have 4 years of high school football. This is some of their last experience, so they want to make sure they make the most out of it. We're really going hands-off as coaches, and we feel like we live by that classic adage. Like, you know, on an average team, maybe the coaches lead, but on good teams, the players lead. And we've really kind of had those guys kind of, you know, get out in front of it and be our momentum as we get into this fall.
Yeah, starting off with your schedule, I mean, week 1, you got Berea Mid Park, and then week 2, Olmsted Falls, and then week 3, Highland. Just kind of talk about how those first 3 games will be a big impact before the GCC schedule begins.
Right. I mean, you look at our schedule last year, I think 7 or 8 teams had 11 wins, really successful teams, and a lot of those schools have some guys back. And, you know, every week's going to be a challenge. That's why you come up here and you're me as a 27-year-old and you take this challenge because you know it's big-time football. And if you don't show up 1 week and you're not ready to play, you're going to get humbled. So really, we just want to take it week by week, put our best version of ourselves out there, try not to get too gimmicky and just get really good at and refine those skills that we think we can highlight throughout the year. And other than that, I mean, just compete and never give up and never feel like you're out of the game, and anything can happen week to week.
And then going into your first year at the GCC, one of the toughest conferences in Northeast Ohio, just kind of talk about how these guys will be prepared with the experience from last year and even coming into this season.
Yeah, just a lot of guys that played reps as sophomores and juniors that maybe on these better programs you might say would have trouble getting on the field as a junior or senior. So instead of those guys playing JV reps as sophomores and freshmen, you know, they may be thrust into a varsity role where they've kind of had to take you know, bigger impact onto the program, and now those guys are in the driver's seat. They're upperclassmen. And it is very fortunate for us to have some guys that have taken their lumps early on, and now, you know, they're in a position where they feel like they compete at a high level.
Do you feel like these guys have a chip on their shoulder despite like the last 2 years being a 3-8 Wagger? And how does that have them momentum going into this season?
Yeah, every day we kind of just challenge them and make sure that they realize we're never too good. We can't get too high, we can't get too low. We just have to continue to be consistent and work on ourselves and what we can control in our locker room. These guys love football, and at the end of the day, they're kids, so they have a really short memory. Like, they don't remember much of last year or the year before that. They're just ready to get back on the horse and accept some new challenges, and whatever their fate might be, you know, we just got to keep reiterating, lay it all out there, and you'll have no regrets. But really, really happy with the feedback so far.